Have you ever just opened the door to your home and stopped and thought, what do I smell? What do I see? What do I hear? A lot of emphasis is often put on the visual to our homes when we think of making a cozy home, which that's definitely part of it, but I love incorporating all 5 senses, and I think that it takes them all to really make a space feel cozy. So today I thought it would be fun to just sit down, chat with you. While we're watching this, I would love to hear from you as well. What's something that you like to incorporate into your home to make it as cozy as you can for Christmas? The first one I kind of already mentioned, and I wish I had done the same, and it is to drink hot beverages. I love the fact that hot beverages specifically, you can't guzzle them down. You have to slow down and savor because they're just literally too hot to drink quickly. So just taking the liberty to sit down with it and savor the moment, look around, treasure up all the things around you in this season of your life. It's also such a great way to make guests feel welcome simply by a cup of tea, coffee, whatever. I also love doing this with the kids. I like collecting little Christmas cups at thrift stores or wherever, and it's always such a treat for them when we pull out the little Christmas mugs. We just had our first cup of hot cocoa not too long ago, and they were all just beaming just to have mom stop her work and we just sit down. Very simple, and just savor some time together. I never thought I would say number 2 because I am not an avid reader, but I do think that adding books to any space can make it so much more cozy. Now, before you go and yell at me in the comments, I do consume a lot of books, but I personally get so much more out of them through audiobooks and enjoy that a lot more while I'm working. But I do think that books really do help cozy up a space and make it so much more inviting. It just, something about a book just begs you to like curl up on this couch. And so actually placing them strategically beside cozy spaces can be really helpful. I like to do a variety of books throughout the house, whether it's kids' books, magazines, novels, devotionals, even family photo books. I love having kind of a book for every occasion throughout the house. Number 3 is a fun one. I mean, if you really think of it, it's pretty important as well. Whether it's your own family or you have guests, it's pretty much everyone will visit the restroom in your house. So to make the bathroom feel like a spa can be a beautiful way of just making people feel at home, cozy in your space. Fluffy towels in the bathroom, or lighting a candle or oil diffuser or whatever you like to make it smell nice. Eucalyptus in the shower or a rug on the floor. I actually really love that idea. Not only does it add texture, coziness, color, all the things, it also saves you from having to step out onto a cold floor on chilly nights. Bringing nature inside is one of my favorite ways to celebrate each season all throughout the year. So there's always something to be found that is beautiful outside. Sometimes you have to dig for it. But I love this especially in the winter months as the outside feels pretty drab sometimes and just kind of like everything is bleak, there's not much color, and it just forces you to go out there and still find the beauty, and you get that fresh air, which I know I have trouble with sometimes when it's cold outside. Whether it's a little twig of evergreen or branches of spruce trees or even bare branches, it's a great way to incorporate texture and color into your home. A lot of these branches also add such a beautiful scent, which is incorporating another one of our 5 senses. You probably wouldn't expect remove clutter on a list of ways to make your home cozy for Christmas, but it's true. I mean, what's more relaxing than a tidy, clean, calm space? I know that for myself, when there is clutter in my cupboards, in my drawers, on the floor, everywhere, not only does it actually clutter the space and what I'm seeing, but my mind feels so cluttered. And so This time of year, I am going through organizing closets, cupboards, all the areas, and especially paying attention to kids' toys areas because I know Christmas is coming, and to just always be adding more to your home can be really overwhelming. So I encourage you to join me in going through all the little spaces in our home and getting rid of things that no longer serve us. And it's amazing how much easier it is to clean up after having done this, but also just space in your mind to think clearly. This might be right up there with my favorites. I absolutely love cooking with the seasons. I'm a big proponent of it for a number of reasons, not only because it naturally kind of spruces up your menu throughout the year, but also because the needs that your body has nutritionally are actually incorporated into a lot of seasonal foods. So for example, citrus is usually very popular in the winter, and citrus has loads of vitamin C that help you have a strong immune system and fight off colds, flus, that kind of thing. A lot of the root vegetables are more in the winter, which of course are perfect for a lot of comforting hot meals like healthy stews, soups, casseroles, and other warming meals like that. And also it's cheaper than if you buy stuff out of season because it doesn't have all the like travel and storage expenses that it would otherwise. So highly, highly, highly recommend that one. Number 7 is to only use natural lighting throughout the day. Now, I know, I feel like this might be a controversial one. I do not love overhead lighting throughout the day. I will definitely keep my Twinkle lights on, which there's a Christmas tree right in front of me here that I wish you could see. It's so cozy and warm, but overhead lighting is not something I usually incorporate throughout the day. I find just sunlight streaming in my windows to be so relaxing and calming, and as soon as you turn on overhead lighting, you don't notice it anymore. So that's something I love to do. I know there's people that also like to only use lamps in the evening because it just creates such a cozy ambiance, which I think that's beautiful too. I don't have enough lamps in my house right now for that to work. I don't even have a lamp in every room. But that's definitely another way that you can just kind of help with that cozy feel throughout the home. Number 8 is to have throws easily accessible. I actually do this all throughout the year. I love just the texture that they add to rooms, but it can also be a really cost-effective way of decorating for each season, kind of incorporating more Christmassy colors or fabrics that you might not use throughout the summer. You can often find throws for really inexpensively at thrift stores, or even Amazon has some good options. But what's better than cozying up on the couch with something hot to drink, maybe reading a book or watching a movie, snuggled up in a nice throw. Number 9 is to use linen bedding. No, this is not sponsored. I know I've talked of my linen bedding a lot, but I just cannot get over how cozy it is. If linen's not your thing, that's fine. Do something that is your thing. Number 10, imagine this is what you thought would be on my list. It is to light a candle. I know, it's probably on every single cozy list out there, but it's true. Just lighting a candle, this tiny little flame, can make such a difference in how your room feels. It is true, I do burn candles sometimes, but it actually leads me right on into number 11, which is to bake something good smelling. If you ever stop in and walked through my door, what you're a lot more likely to find than a candle burning is flames dancing in my fireplace, but then probably a smell of something from the kitchen, because this is so me. It doesn't have to be your thing. You can totally stick with the candles. I love the scent of fresh baked goods throughout my house. I really enjoy baking. I really enjoy coming up with new things, and so this one just kind of hits home for me. But it also knocks out a couple things at the same time. So not only are you adding a nice scent to your home, but you also have something on hand to serve anyone who might be walking through your doors that day, or even for your family, a special treat for them, but you're nourishing bodies at the same time as you're adding this beautiful scent. And for myself, at least, it's a really fun, creative outlet. So if it's not your thing, totally fine. You can still have a cozy Christmas without it. But if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend just taking the time to bake something. Start simple and grow from there. Number 12 is an essential one. It involves your phone and a little speaker that I don't have here with me, but it is to play background music. There are so many beautiful calming playlists on Spotify, and we just picked up these little Bluetooth speakers from Amazon. They are small enough to hide in the decor, so you don't have these like clunky big speakers around. They're obviously portable, so you can move them around throughout the house, but I just love having music playing. I often, on Sunday mornings, my thing is kind of to have worship music playing. That's kind of how I grew up. I remember waking up to Dad belting out songs when I woke up on Sunday mornings. And it's such a sweet memory of my childhood, and I'm trying to pass that on. I'm not belting songs usually, but I am playing worship music, and really helps set the tone. And so for the Christmas season specifically, like Christmas instrumental playlists or Christmas carols, there's so many good options out there. That really just helps set the mood and make things feel so incredibly cozy. Bonus tip, if you're maybe welcoming in new guests to your home, maybe friends that you are not well acquainted with yet, I find that having background music really helps to just relax the atmosphere as well, and makes it feel a lot less awkward if there are ever, pauses in the conversation or anything like that. Number 13 is one near and dear to my heart, and that is to be intentional about making memories. I know this time of year can be so busy for so many of us. There's options on every turn, gatherings, all the things, and I guess I'm just encouraging us all to slow down a little and savor. There's no point in going to all these things if we're just gonna be stressed and rushed through them all anyway. So sometimes it's best to just take a step back and make the memories. I'm not talking about expensive shows or glamorous dates, although those are fun to incorporate into the season as well. But I'm talking more about snuggling a little longer in front of the fireplace with your spouse, or making some cuts of hot cocoa and driving throughout the neighborhood with your family to see Christmas lights, or baking gingerbread cookies with the kids and maybe delivering them to a few of your neighbors. Personally, I found that it's not the gifts that we remember so much, even for the kids. It's the memories that we've made throughout that season as a family, and that's what they always talk about in the coming years again. Are we gonna do this again? Are we gonna do that again? Because that's what sticks. Number 14, I touched on a little bit before, but it is to incorporate twinkle lights. Even when the out of doors can feel a little gray and blah this time of year, I love to make the inside feel extra just magical and fun, and greenery with twinkling lights is such a great way to do this. It's funny how these teeny tiny little lights can be so effective in adding warmth and welcome to any space, and they're also pretty inexpensive. Number 15 is to keep snacks on hand. I feel like as a mom of little ones, this is something you kind of have to do anyway, but I like to be especially mindful of it during the holiday season. And one of our favorite ways to do that has been just a giant fruit bowl somewhere where that the toddler even can reach. I find that they reach for fruits a lot more that way. We definitely also indulge in Christmas cookies sometimes, but I try to be mindful with this tip of the effect of sugar on our immune systems as well. And obviously, I want us to be as healthy as we can throughout the season. So just healthy little snacks for the kids, and then maybe special events where we incorporate some of the more, festive Christmas cookies, fudges, all of that delicious stuff, or making them in a healthier option, which is another thing I'm a huge fan of, and you'll probably be seeing throughout this season of how I like to still make all these fun Christmas treats, but just with healthier ingredients. Number 16 is to use an inviting color scheme. You don't need to go repaint your entire house. I am known to repainting at all times, but especially focusing on adding more warmth to the space. So focusing more on warm tones and maybe pulling back a little bit on the cooler tones. Number 17 is to invest in a few good loungewear sets or sweaters. Often you can find these, again, thrifted or things like that, but if not, I think it can also be a good investment, just one or two even, but they just help you feel so much better throughout the season and just definitely also capture coziness. Number 18 is to host people often and experience that joy of giving. I think that this can be a great time to teach our kids the joy of serving others, of giving when the world around us is so focused on getting. I've stopped having the kids sit down to write wish lists for what they want for Christmas just because I found over time that that really made all the emphasis about me over Christmas time, and that's not what Christmas is about. It's about the greatest gift that was ever given, and so I'll just try to pay attention throughout the year to things that I know that they're interested in, comments that they naturally make throughout the year of things that they would like, and then obviously we still get them Christmas gifts, but I try to be intentional now about teaching them the joy of giving. And so hosting people can be a great way to do this and such a fun way to build great friendships as well. It does not need to be fancy. You can go as simple as having people over for hot chocolate and popcorn, or if you like to go all out, you can have them over for a 5-course dinner. Either way is okay. The point is that you're taking time to invite people into your home, serving them with joy, and passing on that legacy to your kids and also investing in these relationships in the meantime. I hope my kids aren't being too loud in the background. They're apparently having a chase or something. They're having fun downstairs. Number 19 is to swap out artwork for the season. This is such a simple little move. In fact, I showed it in a couple of vlogs ago, but we just took some thrifted frames, put some prints in there that I had found on Etsy, and I love how this simple little task can make such a difference in celebrating the season. And finally, number 20, don't stress out. The worst thing we can do for our family and friends over this season is to be all stressed out, frazzled, and overwhelmed throughout all the events going on. So just take a step back, evaluate what are a couple things that would mean the most to your family in your home, even with the list, with the things I just shared. Don't stress about it. Your home should feel like you. That's when it will feel the coziest to you, and that's when your guests will feel the most welcome. They are not entering your home for some Pinterest catalog. They are entering your home for you, and so it should just be an extension of who you are. I hope that all these things we talked about today maybe gave you some ideas, but remember that they are just ideas and not things that have to be done. So I hope that was helpful to you today. Don't forget to leave your tips in the comments below. I'm looking forward to reading those. Thank you so much for being here, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, friends.
Golden thing.